Hey, what's going on guys? Butterbar here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Division 2 video. So this is going to be an off-the-cuff type of commentary. I love doing these type of things. I love just kind of free thinking, free talking about kind of what's going on in my experience in video games, and it's no different. I've done things in Titanfall 2, Apex Legends, and now in the Division 2, and today I want to talk about one of the major flaws that I see in this game. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm having a fantastic time in the Division 2. I'm having a lot of fun. So just because I'm talking about one flaw that I see that's in this game, I don't want people to get the wrong impression that this is not a great game. This is a great game. I'm having a lot of fun in it, whether I'm playing in the Dark Zone or I'm playing the campaign missions, whether I'm playing by myself or I'm playing with friends. This is a great experience. If you love looter shooters, you are going to have a fantastic time playing this. I think it rewards you very well. I think the different types of builds and different types of things that you can actually come across, from the weapons to the gear and what type of combinations you can make in this game, I think Ubisoft, I think Massive, I think they did a really great job with the Division 2. It is a lot of fun to play, and if you have not picked this up, I definitely recommend this being one of those games. If you are a looter shooter fan, Destiny, you know, Anthem, whatever it might be, I think you're gonna have a fantastic experience in this game, especially too if you've also played the Division 1. All right, so let's get into this major flaw that I think that the Division 2 has, and that is storyline. Now, in the Division 1, we did have a semi-type of story. We knew who the bad guy was. We knew, you know, we had the rioters, we had the cleaners, we had Riker people, we had all these different types of characters that we knew their different types of backgrounds. Even Aaron Keener, one of the main villains in the Division 1, we knew some of his backstory, some of the things that he was doing while the story was progressing. And one of the things that I thought was really cool that the Division 1 had was they actually had a novel, a little book of what was going on in New York during the outbreak of the dollar flu. And it was really cool. As you read this book, it's like a survival book, but whoever owned that book, whoever was reading that book during the time of the outbreak and trying to survive in New York City, they actually did write some notes inside this little survival guide. So it's a survival guide. However, you do see the experience of one person having in New York City during the dollar flu outbreak and trying to survive. So again, I really do think that Division 1 had a semi-story. You had different influences on why people were acting the way they were. You know, the Rikers or the cleaners. Each boss, each faction had their reasons on why they were, you know, taking over New York City, and while they were, you know, why the cleaners were burning bodies and wanting to go after cleansing the virus and whatnot. You kind of had a backstory on kind of what was going on in New York City, and also too with the survival book that the Division 2 doesn't really have. Now, I will say this, that I feel like some games out there, like one of the best examples that I can give is the Mass Effect series. The Mass Effect game, 1, 2, and 3, not Andromeda, 1, 2, and 3 of Mass Effect, did great jobs on being able to tell a story and get you kind of connected to not only the story, but the characters and everything involved, and all your influence and everything that you possibly did in the story to affect your own kind of legacy later on throughout the games. It made you feel really connected to the world and connected to the characters that I really don't feel like more games do nowadays. I really do think that BioWare, when they made Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, they definitely had a great system going for them, and being able to make the characters, making you have a connection with the character, making you have a connection with Commander Shepard or other characters that you met along the way, and the different influences, or even how you interact around the world, you know, in Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. It made you build that connection. It made you have a lot of I guess value in what you were doing and what you were, you know, affecting throughout the world and throughout the universe in that series. In the Division 2, you don't really have that so much. In my opinion, I really do think that the one thing that can make the Division 2 a lot better is having that story, is having that connection to the storyline, having that connection to the characters that you can have in other video games. I mean, I will say this, the Division 2 does a lot of things right. The loot system, the combat, they do things really well, and I'm really happy that Massive and Ubisoft was able to pull this off. There's other games out there like, you know, either Destiny or Anthem. Some of them do have a story, but it's nothing like concrete. It's nothing that you want to invest a lot of time in. Or even, you know, in the case of Destiny, having a really good story, but really not kind of following through, I guess, with kind of what was going on in that world. In Division 2, they can really do a great job of being able to carry on what was the storyline in the Division 1 and making it better in the Division 2. And that's kind of the one thing I guess I was really upset on with the Division 2 is that I really don't know what's going on in the universe. I don't know what's going on with the storyline. I don't know what the repercussions are. I mean, we're 7 months out from what was happening in New York during the around the December time when everything broke out, so we really don't have that connection on what's going on in the world. Now, I will say this again: the Division 2 has a amazing, just like in New York City in the Division 1, the atmosphere, the environment that you're surrounded in, it does tell a story. It does tell you a story of kind of what's going on. You can find audio logs and echoes all throughout Washington, D.C. and kind of find out what the story was on your own. But again, it really doesn't paint a picture of kind of what people were experiencing with the chaos that was breaking out in DC. And that's one of the things that, again, I really do think that Massive and Ubisoft did a great job of being able to tell a story throughout the environment. But when it comes to a storyline, not so much. And now, actually, I really do, at least when it comes to the DLC, when it comes to the different content that they could be bringing to the game, again, one of those great examples of being able to tell a story on the Ubisoft side, Splinter Cell. Man, Splinter Cell in the very beginning, the very first Splinter Cell, the storyline was okay, but it wasn't that great. As Splinter Cell games kind of carried on throughout the years, it got better and better and better, and that gave me a lot of evidence that Ubisoft can do a really great storyline when it comes to the Tom Clancy series, Rainbow Six, and even Ghost Recon. I remember back in the day, back in the 90s, where there really wasn't too much of a story, but again, as Ghost Recon kind of got along, you got more details, more story, more atmosphere to kind of plug yourself into when you are playing these games. And then with Ghost Recon Wildlands, again, yeah, if you have an open world environment and you are kind of getting storylines of what's going on through each mission, and you kind of have this attachment to not only the squad that you're playing with, the squad teammates that you have, who either can be AI or they can be just random players that are joining your game, but you also have a connection and a drive to kind of go after the different cartel leaders in Wildlands. And I think that, again, it's a great job being able to develop that story with that game, but when it comes to this series, The Division, I feel like it's not carried over. I feel like it doesn't get the same dedication that other games have gotten with a storyline. So I really do look forward to with different updates. With I know the first year pass, the first year content that's going to be coming to The Division. We have storylines like the Pentagon, and I know that Ubisoft has kind of announced that new storylines are going to be introduced with each free content for the summer, autumn, and winter season. And that's one thing that I really do look forward to is with each content that comes out, with each update that we get for this game, that we get to see more expansion on what's going on. Again, Wildlands did a great job. Wildlands almost being 2-3 years old, and each year past they bring out more content gets dropped out. I mean, hell, we even saw Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell in Ghost Recon Wildlands, so that was a really cool crossover we got to see, and a cool storyline that we got to see in that game to continue on kind of what's going on. So I really do want to hold out hope for The Division, because it nails down the mechanics, it nails down the loot system, it nails down the abilities. Again, the abilities in this game are a lot of fun to use. The specializations, I think, are awesome. I just got done trying the grenade launcher, the 40mm grenade launcher, and man, if you play that class, I don't know what it is. I know some players do not use their special ability, but man, I had a hell of a time using that grenade launcher. So again, Massive does a really great job. Ubisoft does a great job of being able to create, fun ways to play a game. However, when it comes to the storyline, I mean, hell, one of the things in this game, I mean, we don't know what the motivations, what the intent of, the Black Tusk, what's the intent of, the True Sons, what's their storyline. We don't really know kind of what is happening with the factions in this game, unlike in the Division 1, where we semi-knew kind of what was going on, what their intention was, what the boss, was wanting out of, what was going on, what the chaos was happening in New York City. So, out of anything, guys, I want to know from you, what do you guys think about the Division 2 and the storyline, or the lack thereof, in my opinion? I would love to know from you, what do you guys think about the gameplay? Again, I really do think this is a fun game. I really do look forward to coming home from work and grinding my butt off and having a fun time playing this game. But when it comes to storyline, I really don't think the Division 2 has a great storyline, and I really do want to hold out hope for later on in the future having a great storyline and having a good involvement in kind of what's going on in this world and wanting to be more immersed around it. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about the storyline in this game? What do you guys think about the gameplay in this game? I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please drop me a like. And again, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this commentary. Have a great rest of the day, guys, and I'll see you guys all next time.